Pete Wishart.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker, and can I thank Leader of the House for announcing the business for next week. And it's a pity the Honourable Member for Bolsover has just left the House, because I think we're looking forward to sequel after sequel, and I'm particularly looking forward to Beast, The Return, #2. So let's hope we have many more of these particular events. And can also welcome back all honourable members. So today, Mr Speaker, we have the first day of a two-day debate on the second reading of this repeal bill, as we continue to progress this clueless, delusional Brexit folly. 2 days to debate this unprecedented power grab with all the horrors of these Henry VIII powers. Now, it's almost certain that these 2 days will be very heavily subscribed, with members of Parliament having only a few minutes to put the many concerns of their constituents. But, Mr Speaker, it gets worse than that, because there's actually only 8 days, according to the programme motion, for the Committee of the Whole House. 8 days to negotiate the setting up of a new legal framework for the UK to disentangle ourselves from an institution we've been a member for decades, with all the attendant regulations, directives and treaties. Now, to put it in context, there was 41 days for the Maastricht Treaty, there was 25 days for the Lisbon Treaty, there was 39 days to enter the European Union when it was just a common market, 8 days for leaving the European Union. It is almost beyond a joke, and the Leader of the House has to come back with a sensible programme motion, with a sensible amount of time to debate the thousands and thousands of amendments that will surely be tabled by the time we come back in October. And after your rebuke, Mr Speaker, yesterday, and all the faffing around we had yesterday and supplying all the names for these select committees, you'd have thought, at least in the order paper today, we would have had the select committees up and running. Now, I appreciate there's a lot of constraints, and we've got them from Monday, but this will also mean a lot of pressure for select committees to meet next week. What is the difficulty and the problem with all this? And then we have the thorny issue of the standing committees. And the Shadow Leader of the House is absolutely right. This government has no means to expect to have a majority on the standing committees of the House. They do not command the majority. This is a House of minorities, and that parliamentary reality and arithmetic has to be reflected into the parliamentary standing committees of this House. So my last question, does the Leader of the House understand and appreciate she is in a minority in this House, and all the committees must recognise that reality?
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Well, the honourable gentleman has raised the issue of the programme motion for the EU Withdrawal Bill. What I can say to him is it is 8 days, with 8 hours protected every day. And really importantly, I think honourable members do really need to appreciate that this withdrawal bill is to provide a base for the UK's departure from the EU. There will be a large number of subsequent bills relating to new policies, new systems, new processes that relate to the UK's departure from the EU. There will be many opportunities for all colleagues across the House to have all of their views taken into account. And as we've said time and time again, it's absolutely clear that we want to be a consulting government, that we want to take into account the views right across the House, and to provide sufficient time for all colleagues to make their views known. On his other points on committees, I actually think it is rather churlish of him. We have absolutely made every effort to establish the select committees as soon as we possibly could. They have been now established faster than the last Parliament or the one before that. And it is extremely churlish. What it actually demonstrates is opposition for opposition's sake. He doesn't even have the decency to recognise that this House is responding to a genuine request from select committee chairs right across the House to get a move on and do it. And we've done it. And he doesn't have the grace to say thank you or to appreciate that fact. But he merely, and I think it's an important point, he just wants to oppose for opposition's sake. That is simply not constructive. And at a time where this House does need to come together to look at what we can agree on and not simply making small petty points, I think it is a great shame that he takes his approach.
I must just advise the House